What's up, brothers? Happy Thursday, I think, where I'm at. Yeah. I wanted to drop in and drop another video. So I used to be a teacher. I taught for 12 years. So I love to educate. I love to teach. I love to help people understand things from complex things down to a very simplistic understanding so they can move and activate themselves in their life. And so I want to use my YouTube page for that. My YouTube page is to help men to learn, help men to grow, help men to find themselves, help men to find mentors in communities that they can be a part of so that they can feel with themselves and feel like they have support in the world. But for that, I need you to subscribe and like and share this out with somebody. Today, I'm going to talk about why your feminine partner doesn't trust you and how it's ruining your relationship. I think this is super important when it comes to relational dynamics. The thing that's super interesting, like the masculine loves to be loved, trusted, and respected and desired. The feminine wants to be seen, heard, felt, and understood. And that word trust is huge. And it's the word that women use the most when they go to explain why they don't feel safe with their partner. It's the word they use the most when they come to explain why they don't feel desiring of their partner. It's the word they use the most when they feel like they're most disconnected from their partner. It's the word trust, right? And for men, like we want to be trusted. Like that's an ultimate desire for us in relationships. The problem is most of us don't trust ourselves. And we have an expectation that we put on relationships that if I'm here and I provide A, B, C, D, F, G, whatever it may be, if I'm giving you A, B, C, D, F, G, I'm providing the money and I'm providing the physical safety, then you should trust me and give me what I want from your end. The problem is that when you are not trustable as a man, and I'm going to talk about different ways that you're not trustable. It doesn't matter what you provide physically. It doesn't matter what you provide financially. There's still going to be something off energetically. And in that energy, the emotional safety of women gets shattered a good bit. And in that emotional safety, they lose their trust in their ability to open to you. And they lose their desire to open to you. And their desire to let you lead them. Their desire to let you be emotionally connected to them. And their desire to be vulnerable with you. It's because of their lack of trust in you. And usually a lot of times that stems from a lack of trust within you that you're energetically pushing out into the world. So I want to talk about this a good bit today, and hopefully you can learn something and apply it to your life. And we could talk about different levels of trust, and we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about like infinitesimal levels of trust that cause relationships to falter a good bit. So the first one that I talk about a lot, and for men, is integrity, right? So integrity for me is you do what you say you're going to do. And this fucks a lot of men over because we are big talkers. We say a lot of shit. We we promise a lot to our partners. We promise a lot to our families. We promise a lot to the world. We don't follow through a lot. I had a mentor at one point. He used to tell me, he goes, "You watch a man's mouth. I mean, you watch a man's feet. You don't watch his mouth because his mouth tells you what he wants to do. His feet show you what he's going to do." And so a lot of trust gets broken in relationships through the lack of integrity. And it's simple. I can give you a story. I remember 7 or 8 years ago, I was doing corporate sales at that point. 8 years? 9 years ago? 8 years? 10 years ago. Fuck. Almost 10 years ago now. I was doing corporate sales at that point, and my wife said, "Can you mail something for me?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I'll mail it today." And so I put it in my trunk with all my stuff to go sell, and I was selling, and lo and behold, like 2 weeks later, I opened my trunk, and she was standing right there, and the thing that I was supposed to mail 2 weeks ago was still there. And in that moment, she lost trust in me because what I said out of my mouth, I didn't put forth in action. And it was a small break in trust, but it's the small breaks in trust that usually cause the biggest damage, right? It's death by 1,000 cuts, is what I always say. Because trust is lost because it is repeated, like the break of trust is repeated over and over again. All right. So number one, like if your integrity is fucking off, like You need to clean that up. If you're going to say you're going to do something, I don't care who it is. If you say you're going to do something for yourself, then fucking do it. Like, hey, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Go do everything you can to lose 20 pounds. Hey, I'm going to do this for the house. Go do everything you can to make that happen. Don't sit around and say shit just to make other people feel good about you saying it. Like, that doesn't help anybody. And it doesn't build trust. It doesn't build, like, I believe that you can lead. It tells me that you don't fucking believe you can do shit. You just say it so everybody gets off your back. All right? So that's a huge one. The second one I would say that's huge in trust building for relationships is you got to stop living in the shade. And this is the one I had to learn specifically for myself. And when I say living in the shade, that means like you have to be transparent as fuck in your relationship. Like whatever's going on in your life, your partner needs to know about that shit. If women are messaging you on social media, your partner needs to know about that shit. Like if you're having some disgruntled shit going on within the relationship, like you're not getting enough sex or you're not feeling appreciated enough, your partner needs to know about that shit. Because it's you living in the shade, like hiding, and I call it the shade is the lies. Like you're hiding in the lies. It's an energy that gets felt. Like she might not even know shit is going on, but she feels something off. The cool thing about the feminine is they're super intuitive. And so energetically, they pick up on your bullshit faster than you can realize you got bullshit going on. So if they feel you off, you're off. You may have to take some time to process why the fuck you're off, but you're off. And when you trust that, then you can start to realize like, hey, my energy speaks louder than my words and my actions do. And so I have to really be cognizant of, is my energy clean? And the only way for my energy to be clean is I need to live in the light and not the shade. And the light for me is truth. I live in the truth in everything. It took me a long time to get here because I didn't trust a motherfucker to save my life. I didn't trust women at all because of the way I was raised and early on relationships. And so getting into a relationship where it was healthy, I had to rebuild trust in myself and rebuild trust in the ability to trust other people. And the part of that rebuilding was being able to live in truth, like be authentically me and knowing that I can be me and I can stay truth and I'm not going to lose love. That was the hardest thing for me. Like the fear of losing love and the fear of losing validation or approval or acceptance. So when I started to live in truth, the one thing I learned about my wife is, and I knew this from the beginning, like consciously I knew, like when we first started dating, she goes, tell me everything, even if it hurts me. And that was the hardest fucking shit to process in my life because I never want to hurt the person I love the most. Right. But as I started to step into that power and tell her shit, even if it didn't feel good, the more love and trust and respect came my way. And so it's, how do you stop living in the shade? The shade are your lies, the little white lies or the big lies that you're fucking telling. The fucking hidden emotions, the fucking hidden disgruntledness, the fucking hidden resentments. All that energy gets felt. All that energy gets pushed out into the universe. And she knows it, she feels it, she understands it, but you're not communicating it, so it disconnects you guys. So that's super important, right? I think a third one would be is you don't have any fucking purpose in the world. And so she doesn't trust you to pursue your purpose in the world. She sees you as somebody that settles. She sees you as somebody that doesn't go after what you want because either you don't feel good enough about yourself or you don't feel capable or you're lazy as fuck. And so when you don't have a purpose in your life, you don't have passion, you don't have a mission, you don't have fucking something firing you up every day, then she's going to become the thing that you need to fire you up. And that's a fucking heavy weight to bear. It's a fucking heavy weight for her to be your motivation, to be your inspiration, to be the thing that fires you up about getting up every day. Like that's a heavy weight. That's not anybody's responsibility. That's why it's so vital for in a power couple relationship where both people have shit in their life that sets them on fire outside of the relationship. I love my wife to death. She's the most amazing creature I have ever met. on this God's green earth. And I've met a lot of people. That being said, what I do every day fires me the fuck up. And then knowing that I get to be in a relationship with her fires me the fuck up. But she is not responsible for my fire. She's not responsible for my passion. She's not responsible for my purpose. She is a top priority in my life. But I have a fire that burns so deep without her that I can make shit happen because of that. If I need her to be my fire, I won't make shit happen and I won't be trustable because that's not safe. Because you got to understand the feminine tend to be emotional beings. The feminine tend to be up and down. The feminine tend to be like a roller coaster. And if you need them to be your fire, it's a 50-50 venture. Some days they can do it, some days they can't. What's going to happen on the days they can't? Who the fuck are you going to become? What the fuck's going to happen to the relationship? What the fuck's going to happen to the financial status? What the fuck's going to happen to y'all's world? Like, if you're not in control of who you are, if you're not in control of how you show up, if you're not disciplined as fuck as being the man that you know you are meant to be, that you are called to be, that you are led to be, without her being the reason why you show up that way, you always lose trust in her. It's super important to know that. You got to have a purpose bigger than the priority of this relationship. Now, it sounds a little counterintuitive. Like, oh, she's my world. She's a person in your world. Right? And I think the last one that I think it kind of plays into this, but it's a little separate. She doesn't trust you to lead yourself. So she doesn't trust you to lead her or the family. And when I say this, it's like she looks at you and you're fucking like watching TV 6 hours a night. You're on your phone. You're disconnected. Your body's soft. You've kind of given the fuck up on life. You've decided, like, this is it. And she's over there going, like, that's not the fucker I married. Like, the man I married was good looking. The man I married cared about shit. The man I married had a drive, had a purpose, had a mission. The man I married had a fire. And when she sees you give up and just meander in mediocrity, she doesn't believe you can lead yourself. And it all starts, I mean, literally, it starts with your physical appearance. I'm going to be honest, guys. Like, if you're walking around here, done put on 40 or 50 pounds since you got married, 30 or 40 pounds, you got man boobs, right? You're fucking breathing hard walking up the stairs. You're drinking beer 4 or 5 nights a week. You're eating bonbons, sitting on the couch. Like, she doesn't have respect for you because you don't respect yourself. You eat like an asshole. You move like you don't give a fuck about yourself. And so she doesn't trust you because you don't even like yourself enough to make sure that you're not a fucking savage every day. And this is a mindset. Like, yeah, physical, they're great. That's part of it. But then mentally, she knows too, like, you'll fucking crumble like a cracker in her presence. You won't fucking stand up. You have no balls. You stop like going after what you wanted. You stop seizing opportunities. You stop growing. You stop showing the fuck up for what you want. And when you operate from that space, you're no longer trustable. You're not a man who a woman's like, fuck, like, I will go to war with that guy. She's like, fuck, I'm going to have to fight the war because he can't do it. See, when trust is off, it breaks polarity. When polarity is off, there is no intimacy. When no intimacy is there, the relationship dwindles. And if it goes on long enough, you get divorced. Or you cheat. Or she cheats. And so it's your responsibility to fucking get yourself in alignment with the truth. It's your responsibility to get yourself in alignment with integrity. It's your responsibility to get yourself alignment with the mindset of a fucking savage. Speaking of that, I just fucking released a course called The Savage Mindset's $49. Shoot me a message if you want it. I'll send you a link. Fucking amazing. I promise you it will change you. Change you. 6 modules. I filmed it last week. I was like, fuck, this is what I needed when I was fucking in the dumps. But she needs you to be in alignment with that so she can fucking trust you. It's time to stop waiting for life to show up for you. It's time to fucking get up and go after it. It's time to start trusting yourself to do the thing you say you want to do the thing you say you want, to do the life that you say you want to live, to be the man you say you are. Practice being that motherfucker. You try to convince the world of this man, then show the fuck up for that man. Be that guy every day. If you can be that guy every day, I promise you, you will trust yourself, she will trust you, and the world will follow. My brothers, if you love this message, if you got something from this, please comment below. Subscribe here, like here, share this out with a brother that could use this message. And if you want to know more about the Savage Mindset, shoot me a message on here. Shoot a comment in there, say Savage, and I'll shoot you a link, and we can get fucking started. But I hope you guys have an amazing day. Go kill it.